All right, guys, let's go through the template together. Okay, you ready? I'm going to put the picture up.
No, it's a bird in a
No, you still haven't shared your documents?
bird in a bottle. Bird in a No! Oh my god, what is that animal? It's a bird in a water bottle.
It is a bird in a water bottle.
What? Cockatoo. How do you even get them in there? Looks like a stuffed.
Those are good questions.
Maybe it's fake.
It's not.
It's probably open on the other side, and that's where they're showing.
Yes, so this is a yellow cockatoo from Indonesia, I believe. And they found 24 of these little bottles with live birds in them. The person had sawed off the bottom of the bottle and put the bird inside and then put it into a case and tried to smuggle it out because these birds are worth a lot of money for either like pets or to be used in like traditional medicine in certain countries. So they're they're incredibly endangered. This is very illegal, and so they got they found 24 of these birds and they took them into custody. 7 later died because of how weak they were, but the other ones survived. Yay. So there's a little bit of the story behind the picture. So now we need to get to the paragraphs part, first box, which is title the picture. You guys know how to do this one. We're going one at a time, remember.
Oh my gosh, the hot tea is just Did you? What?
This is in the best pictures of the week. Okay. Now we've got active voice and passive voice. Guys, this is instructional portion. Many of you didn't pay attention to instructions on the previous ones, which is why we're still doing sentence parts that you're still getting the same mistakes on. So let's really focus here. So active voice and passive voice, it depends on how you say the sentence. An active voice sentence would be like, I bought all the toys in the store, right? I'm the subject and buying is what I'm doing. If it's passive voice, it's all of the toys were bought by me. So it's making it not me doing the action. It's saying all of these things were done, and I guess I did it. So see if you can come up with an active voice sentence first for this bird in a bottle. You could say it out loud, just for an example.
I am bottling birds.
I am putting birds in bottles.
I am saving the birds from the bottles.
I am saving birds from bottles.
I was looking at the bird in the bottle.
I was looking at the bird in the bottle.
I'm helping the birds.
Yes, excellent.
Okay. Would a horrible person stuff the bird in the bottle work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A horrible person would be your subject, and stuffed birds in bottles would be your verb phrase.
Not active, passive.
So let's do the next one. I saw the bird.
No, it's not bird. They can both be someone or
Okay, so passive voice. Generally, you can just change it to be this thing happened by the person's name. So like, the bird in the bottle was seen by me.
Wait, so I wrote, I'm helping the bird in the bottle.
The bird in the bottle was helped by me.
Yeah, and then I wrote, the birds were all stuffed in bottles. I helped them.
That's all active.
Wait, what about?
Okay, guys. I don't think you're hearing the examples, and so you're not able to follow with us. So can you read your example sentence again?
Okay, I'm helping the birds in the bottles. And then what I read, like, the birds in the bottle were being helped by me.
Yes. Birds in the bottle were helped by me. Yes.
The birds in the bottles were mistreated by a horrible person.
Yes.
Wait, do you have to cite someone?
There has to be a subject, like who's doing the action, and I can be the one doing the action. So the person who put the birds in the bottle was seen by me.
Oh my god. You do Command A, and then you can like build it.
All right. Next box. List of objects in the picture punctuated correctly. So start with in the picture, comma, in the list of objects box. In the picture, comma, I see.
Wait, what are they called? Yellow cockatoos?
So before we do what you actually see, the goal of this box is to punctuate it correctly. Meaning, what do you put after every list item? Comma. Space. Excellent. And then before the last list item, what do you do? And do you put a comma after that last one?
No.
So I don't think you're hearing, I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. So if it's like, I see a bird, comma, a bottle, and something else, does that comma go before the and?
Yes.
No, it actually doesn't have to.
No,
So-
it's a comma.
No, it doesn't have to.
There's two schools of thought. I tend to say yes, put the comma because it makes more sense, but it's not wrong to leave it out. So it actually is both right, but I would say err on the side of adding too many commas.
It's called an Oxford.
It is. Very good. All right, so make your list. Yellow cockatoos. And cockatoo is spelled C-O-C-K. I think it's A-T-O-O. Make sure. Yes. C-O-C-K-A-T-O-O.
Oh, you can see the bottles in the background with more birds in them. Is that the person that's trying to help them, do you think? So sad. Rain. What was the first okay, 8 parts we did?
The very first one was the two kids in the living room.
Oh, yeah, that was the sentence parts. There wasn't a pages falling off. No.
That was later. That was 8 parts.
Why did you say 8?
I could probably tell you.
Why is it 8 parts?
Because there's 8 parts of speech.
Oh. It says 10. Oh, that's why it's okay.
It was the dispose of your ugly children here.
Oh yeah.
That was the first one.
What was it?
Okay. Have we punctuated your list correctly?
Oh,
Yeah, I'll give you another 30 seconds then.
In the hands. In the hands. Is a hand right? It's not at all.
Yeah, you could use the hand and like the ring.
In the hand.
Okay. Now on to the 3 types of sentences. Okay, so simple sentence is like, I went to the store. It's one independent sentence, right? Then you have compound, which is independent, conjunction, independent. You guys know that. Pretty good at that one. Complex is the one a lot of you struggle with, which is dependent plus independent. Like, because the bird was in the bottle, comma, people had to rescue it. Because the bird was in the bottle is not a whole sentence. It's only part of a sentence, so it needs the other part. Then we have the new one, which is compound complex. And that is independent, conjunction, independent, dependent. So it's like combining a simple sentence and a complex sentence. So like, because the bird was in the bottle, many people had to rescue it and give it a better life. So see, I've got two sentences. People had to rescue it. People gave it a better life. And then I have the half sentence because of the, does that make sense? You don't have to use that one, but it's kind of like the advanced versions. Some of you should push yourself to try that one. But basically, you're just describing this picture in 3 sentences. And they have to be different types. So you can use a simple, compound, complex, or compound complex.
Is this simple, just like a regular sentence?
Regular sentence, 1 sentence, no conjunctions. And make sure you say what type it is after you write it.
Where is this at?
Indonesia.
In a compound sentence, is there usually a comma? Is this like,
Generally, yes, but there doesn't have to be.
so it'd be like, they were helped, because I'm trying to do the magical rainbow unicorn one, and I was wondering if I could do, as the cockatoos that were free, they were helped and rehabilitated or something?
They were helped and they were rehabilitated. Yes, that would be compound complex. And you could put one in there or not, a comma in there or not. Yes.
Be a magical unicorn. In Indonesia, there were birds being smuggled in bottles, but the people sent them food.
Yes, because in Indonesia is your dependent clause. Yes.
Also, what should I put? Like, what kind of sentence?
So you can use a simple, like the birds were hurt. So let's see how you have 2 simple sentences there. So you can use simple or you can use the compound complex, which is, here's my example. Because of the black market, comma, that's the dependent clause. People do dangerous things to get birds, and many birds are killed. So I have 2 simple sentences and a dependent clause, meaning part of a sentence. Read it again. I would take out the second comma, and yes, that would be compound complex. All right. So here, I will print you a copy of this.
Battery's dead. No. I'll stand over Tila's computer.
Okay, so Ben, go ahead and grab it off the printer. It's in the library on the color. It's like
That's kind of graph more.
okay, it's on the color.
Close. Complex is half, or just like complex is a half, and they're very it's joined. So in Indonesia, the birds.
That's a compound.
So in Indonesia, golden cockatoos.
If you added something like, which is a shame at the end, that would be compound complex.
What? The yellow.
Okay, you've got about 1 more minute before we're going to go on to the next box.
Where were they trying?
Other parts of Southeast Asia or I think Europe. They weren't like specifically going to a certain place. Well, so why do you think people smuggle, like what other things do people use them for? Or what are the birds being sold for? So people smuggle them to get money from them. And because the birds are rare, they're worth a lot, something like that would be fine. So this would be a simple, not a declarative. You need something to join those two, otherwise it's a compass place. So like the birds are hurting in bottles, so people have to help with the compound. Whereas if you put birds are hurting in bottles, which means people need to help, that would be complex. So that's compound.
Where's do you have to write over this part?
No, I left those for you because that's what we've done so far.
Okay, thank you.
That one's a compound.
How is that a warning? Exactly.
Okay, time to go to its and its. So, it's and its. So, IT apostrophe S stands for what? It is. If you can replace it with it is, then you use IT apostrophe S. ITS no apostrophe is like saying her or my. It's like the thing that belongs to it.
It's
Yeah, so it's beak, ITS, no apostrophe. Because if I said it is beak, that would sound like I don't speak English. Okay, so its beak is black, would be ITS. Or I could say it's mean to put birds in bottles. It is mean to put birds in bottles.
Oh.
So write a sentence or just a quick phrase that has both of them used correctly.
it's me to put the models is IT.
IT apostrophe, yes, yes. Because it is me, yes. So the next one is then and than. Then is like saying THEN is like saying later, like or next, like then we'll go to the store. But THAN is about comparing, like you are taller than your sister, or I have more computers at my table than you do. Okay, so one's comparing, than is comparing, then is like saying next or later. Let's go ahead and write a sentence with both of those.
Than's comparing and then is.
Than is comparing, then is saying next or later.
Why'd you put that in who together?
You'll see.
I said my dad this arrow more to living bodies in Indonesia than yellow cockatoo is rarer than blue. They're regular cockatoos that secure their offense. That's all. Wait, so ITS. No, that it is yeah, and then it's like if we're talking about a cat, its tail is brown and or the other book it's very sad. It's like if you simply like turn our heads, like it's like
Okay, time to go to that and who.
that and who?
So,
Who are you?
this is one of my personal grammar pet peeves, and I'm making you learn it because it drives me crazy. So that and who, you use different ones based on whether you're talking about a person or a thing. A lot of people will be like, the person that I went to the store with, well, you're telling me that the person is a thing because you used that. Instead of saying the person who I went to the store with. Who refers to people?
Isn't there a
There is a whom, and then and this, you don't have to know this, but in case you care, you know whether to use whom or who if it's followed by a pronoun. So like in that sentence I just gave you, the person whom I went to the store with, that would be correct if it's followed by a pronoun. Or like, it is because the rules of who and whom are very archaic and no one really pays any attention, except for me, and I'm an English teacher. So. Okay, so that refers to a thing, who refers to a person, like the bird that is in the bottle, right? Bird's a thing, not a person. And the person whose hand is there, or the person who rescued the bird.
How did the bird even get in there?
You can use whose as in WHOSE, like person whose hand is there,
What would you
but not anything else.
What would you do for pronoun after thing?
It'd always be that, or which. That and which, no one really cares which one you use.
Yeah, that's sad. They were stuck in No, that's not a good idea.
So my sentence was, the bird that was in the bottle is being rescued by the person who is holding the bottle. That, who?
Wait, who would ever do this to a bird?
Yes, because then you're asking what person would do this to a bird.
Oh, wow. It's amazing.
Okay, I want to finish this during first period so we can move on during second period. So, there's 3 boxes left. Okay. The first one says explain the context. So this is basically like the stuff that you don't know by looking at this picture, but you know because I explained it to you. So things like the yellow cockatoo is in the bottle and has been put there by a smuggler who's trying to get money by selling the bird for pet or for parts. And they have been rescued by Indonesian police at the border. That's some of the context. So in your own words, just tell the story of what's happening in the picture that someone wouldn't know by looking at it. No opinions, no feelings, just what's going on in this picture. But your group tells you a little bit about it, and I just think what it was too.
So it's bottom stuff in the bottom. Oh yeah. It's its eyes are black yeah. Oh my god. Its body is yes, it does. Wait, what?
Okay, one more minute, then we're going on to the next box. Okay, second box. Guys, the next box you get to be creative. So, the next box asks you to tell a story, a narrative. That means you're going to put yourself inside the head of someone in this picture. It can be the bird. It can be the person who put the birds into bottles. It can be the person who's rescuing them or who found them. And you're just going to imagine a very brief moment of what that person would be thinking and doing. So I might talk about the bird and how it's feeling about being in the bottle. I might talk about the police who are like, you have 24 birds in bottles, and then what I would think and what I would do. So you're telling a very short, like 2-sentence story about what's going on.
Does it have to be realistic?
Yes.
I want to make country ninja bird.
Pretty sure that's not a thing.
It's totally a thing.
Sure. And make sure if you're using dialogue, you punctuate your dialogue correctly.
I did the person who is so interested about
Okay, 30 more seconds, then we're going to do the last box. Okay, last box. Give an opinion. So the trick with this box, though, is you cannot say the words I think or I believe.
Dang it.
Because, listen to my two sentences. I believe this is wrong. This is wrong. Which one's stronger?
This is wrong.
Yes. And we know it's your opinion because you are writing it. So you may not use the words I think or I believe or any variation thereof. Tell us how you kind of think about this picture. What's your opinion?